Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here in the last session of today, the last semester in our technology management program. My name is Arya, and before coming to the space of technology, I work as a civil engineer. I studied it for 4 years. I launched a very small construction company, and these experiences allowed me to understand how the industry works, but also where it struggles. So, according to McKinsey, it's one of the least digitized industry in the world, and I've seen firsthand why. Services and stakeholders are scattered, and then there is a huge resistance to change. And this is basically where the story of Rumantra begins. So Rumantra is an all-in-one platform where you can buy, design, build, and maintain your home. And for us, it's going to be a long journey across all of the ecosystem, and that is why in this capstone project, I'm focusing on the architect services in my home country, Indonesia. So let me give you a little bit of sense. In Indonesia, I have 280 million people. Half of them live in one island called Java, roughly the same size as the New York State. And then a third of them live in the capital, Jakarta, which recently became the most populous city in the world. We have 42 million people in Jakarta. New York City here is about 8 to 10. When you have a situation like this, two questions naturally arises. Where will these people live and what are they doing in the city? And that is why the demand for residential and commercial is huge. But despite the huge demand, when a homeowner actually wants to find an architect and start a project, finding the right one is really hard. That's because today there is no standardized and reliable platform that actually connects architects and homeowner. And the result is low matching accuracy, unclear pricing, and inefficient selection process. Sorry. Okay, so this is what the process looks like today. So typically, you'll find the architect that you want, that you're interested in, and then you outreach them through Instagram, let's say, and then move to WhatsApp, and then you go back and forth for around 2 weeks to obtain one proposal from one architect. And at the end of the day, if you reach to a couple more architects, you'll end up with a couple of proposals that all have a different format. So if you really want to decide which proposal you want to, it's going to take time and energy as well. But yet at the end of the day, which one to choose and why? And how do you ask the right question to the architect? So this is a real project example. A client wants to build 4 villas, but she doesn't have the capital. So she wants to build the commercial space in front in hope to get the rental revenue. She hired an architect, and today the construction process is 70%. But then she realizes that the remaining space is not enough. There's no planning for the villa access, and there is no parking. And this is a problem that she has to solve, which ended up with another capital. And this is what can happen if a homeowner handpick an architect because they don't have option. On the other side, the architect also have pain points. It's generally about low conversion. They have to deal with WhatsApp messages and then do initial drawing that doesn't convert into a real project. So this is what Rumantra does. In the onboarding process, we will guide homeowner so that they can approximate things correctly. For instance, lot size versus building size, and then the total budget that you have versus the construction, the architect, and furniture, and then what type of deliverables that you need. And on the other side, we will vet the architect because we only want the best in their class. So after the project is posted, the architect submit the proposals, and this is where finally homeowners can compare everything side by side. We also have AI here so that the AI can read tacit information in the proposals in the hope that the red flag that I explained in the villa case is flagged early and avoided. And then after that, you have an option for contracting, and then Rumantra will give a dedicated project dashboard for you and the architect to manage everything, revision, payment, and everything. And we have shared this to a couple of architect and homeowner. We have one really good feedback, which is to balance standardization versus the creative freedom of architect. That is why we are going to make a lot of image requirements, not limiting the design visual of the proposal. So this is basically for homeowner and architect. Homeowner specifically first time, estate rentals or investor, business owners like cafe, restaurants, and small developers. For architect, is small to medium firm and freelancer. This is the market. Indonesia construction market is huge, about $300 billion, but then 200 is for civil. That's like a bridge, highway, and stuff. So we left with around 100 billion, and a subset of that number, which is actually in the right size, scope, and probably need our help for architect, is about 8 billion. So this is the direct competitor today in Indonesia. First, we have architect. It's you can find our architecture service here, and they have a very huge architect directory. But that is where the problem begins. Quality control become hard, and they ended up just being a architecture directory. And second, we have Sejasa. They are huge. You can find almost everything. You can indeed find an architecture service there, but you can also order say Muay Thai session in your home. It's real. They have that. And Rumantra will be focusing more on the quality focus homeowner and architect. So this is the revenue model. So who pays is the architect. When they want to submit a proposal, they will use a bid token, and that's the main variable that I will use across the subscription tiers. And they can also buy these tokens add-on, but the prices also varies according to the level of the subscription. So this is a bit of roadmap that I have in mind. Year one is focusing on MVP, the engine of the marketplace. Year two, we're going to introduce the basic subscription tiers, the paying one, and then year three is full with the AI as well. Our revenue came mostly from the add-ons of the bid tokens, and our expenses is from the customer acquisition. And we reach positive in year three, but barely, just $300. If you think why go all of this for $300, it's because what I'm actually tackling is the construction service. That's where the monetization happen. And Rumantra will go from the architect service to the contractor service, hopefully as soon as possible. Because when you have the design, the next thing is you build them. And this is me. I have two co-founder, all is civil engineering background, but we work in different sector. My CTO is actually the lead software engineering and banking industry in Indonesia. My ask is simple. If you want to build your own house or know someone, or maybe you guys, the judges, want to explore Bali, you want to have villa there, just let us know. We can help. Thank you.
We'll take one question. We'll take one question due to time. Paul, anything?
It's an interesting, it's an interesting model. I just can't understand, like, do they really need it, right? Can I just go, like, is it this special that I would go and invest in it? Like, or can I just go out, get my own architect and do it? I just don't see the sparkles, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Right, it just seems like, I don't see it, maybe the other judges, I just don't see it.
It's more like a contracting as a service here, right?
Yeah, I like, the most interesting thing I thought was your theory on the value on how you're gonna make money. I thought that was really very, very interesting.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I was just like, okay, where's the sweet spot? Like, where's the sparkle?
Where's the secret sauce, basically?
Okay.
Oh, I didn't hurt your feelings.
No. It's
Quite says I heard a lot of people.
I have that a lot.
Out in Indonesia.
Yeah. So basically, small and medium firms, they pay a subset of amount for marketing.
Mhm.
It's intended for getting a project, and if we can really deliver, we can provide projects. We can actually be the marketing team. So the budget is just for the subscription.
Mhm.
And Indonesia is huge, and yeah, I'm really confident that once I tap the construction services, I think this can be huge.
Yeah, it's a very interesting angle. That piece was like very interesting. But good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.